What did taking drugs do to your life?
Oh man, it destroyed every single aspect of my life. Like, there was not a single part of my life that went undestroyed.
Licata looking to the end zone. Newt's got it.
At the Baylor 15, gunning it over the middle. Newt's.
One-on-one coverage, and Newt's pulls it in, and he's just set a new Buffalo record.
Alex Newt's was a superstar wide receiver for the UB Bulls from 2009 to 2013. Newt's is the all-time school leader in receiving touchdowns with 31. And while he shined on the field, there was a bigger battle off of it. In his mind, Newt struggled with anxiety and depression since the age of 6, but it wasn't until his junior year when he broke his wrist that he was introduced to painkillers, which only made matters worse as Alex began suppressing his emotions with pills.
The second I took the first couple pills, there was no stress, no depression, no anxiety. I was in my own little world. Like, I was happy, I was chilling. And the biggest difference was, there's 25, 30 kids who are having surgery in the locker room, so there are other painkillers around. So I started to get some from this guy, I'd get some from this guy, and it really became a point where I was never taking them for pain, I was just taking them for mental health. I was taking them to escape reality and escape the pressure and escape the depression. It really just became something that I would lean on to, get me through a rough day.
Newt's finished his career at UB and was invited to join the Cincinnati Bengals as the window to play in the National Football League was open. That opportunity was shut closed too soon, as his NFL career took a back seat to his attachment to drugs.
I didn't even care anymore about football. One, I didn't want to be playing football anymore. I didn't want to be there. I was miserable. I was depressed. And my mindset was well, if I go back to Buffalo, I can find drugs and I can do pills and I can do this. So I really didn't give forth the best effort when I was in Cincinnati. Ended up getting cut.
After being cut, his football career was over, and Alex entered one of the darkest 2.5-year periods of his life. It wasn't until a friend told his parents that he needed help, which led to an intervention from his family. Alex then decided to enter rehab. What was that process like when you really started to get into the thick of things?
Yeah, it was tough because even when I was first in rehab, I was still messing up here and there, and I was failing drug tests, and yeah, there was a lot of awful days, a lot of okay days, some great days. But the toughest thing is you have to totally reinvent who you are as a person. You have to find new hobbies, you have to find new friends, you have to find new things to do. Because if you went to the mall or if you went to the movies high on pills, going to the movies isn't fun anymore.
Reinvent yourself is exactly what Alex did. After finding a lifestyle of sobriety, Alex was able to team up with kids escaping drugs to share his story and inspire as many people as he possibly could.
And then it became a thing where people were you have a great story, it could really help somebody. And then, people started asking hey, will you come share with my team, or will you come share it at the school? And then one thing led to another. I was partnered up, and hanging out with kids escaping drugs and all the great people over there. And yeah, it just became a really cool little teamwork, partnership type situation where, I would go around with their face-to-face program whenever I could, and it became something good.
So doors started opening up for you. Do you believe that things happen for a reason?
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely. I didn't always, but as I've gotten older and as I've gone through this experience, more and more, I've definitely seen that's a thing.
Alex Newt's inside the 5, touchdown.
When Alex isn't sharing his story and giving back to the community, he says most of his time now is spent making memories with his 3-year-old son. Brian Shinaki, Channel 2 Sports.